Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to Our Texas Organic Garden. This is our 18th installment, 23rd August, 2020. The last time we saw you was in the spring when everything was very lush, and last summer I didn't even make a video because it gets really hot here and a lot of the plants just suffer greatly. But this year I decided to go ahead and make one for a couple of reasons. One is pineapple. I have successfully grown pineapples, and the other is some tips on okra. And so let's go ahead and start today. Look at this. Here they are. They're like a medium-sized pineapple, as you see, and I have two of them. The third one over there is not fully developed yet, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them. There. So, the story about these pineapples is that I've been trying to grow them for years, and just off the top of a supermarket pineapple, but they would always rot. And these pineapple plants you see here are 7 years old, and there are 3 of them that I got off the top of pineapple plants, and they actually worked. The trick I discovered is you need to let them callus when you cut the top. Let it dry out before you put it in any soil, and use the minimum amount of soil. Just use a very small pot to put them in, and just upgrade the pot very, very rarely. I don't know if you can see here, the pot I have is not so big, and they've been in that pot for about 5 years. Very, very root bound. So that's the trick I discovered. Get them very root bound, very little soil. Put some fertilizer on them. And as you see, I have a second one back here. I couldn't believe it when I saw pineapples this year. Look, there you go. My big success in Houston. So yeah, I can continue this by cutting the top off of this one and having this one grow as well. And here's a third one down here that's coming along, maybe before the winter. If you look down below here, the artichokes died out in the summer, as they always do after blooming, but some of them come back, and this one's come back. Okinawan spinach is doing fine. This mustard here, Mizuna, actually reseeded in the pot. And if we go back around over here, you'll see, I'll come over here. I can show you, yeah, cocoa here. Here's some the peppers, as usual, producing a lot. You see this trellis that I made, and it's got Tai Long Bean and the Hmong cucumber, Cambodian cucumber, and not too much production this year on them, but as you see, here's one Hmong cucumber. It's going to turn yellow, and then we'll pick it. Taste is like similar to a regular cucumber. You come over here. You see on that wall over there, I did have Goya, bitter melon, and also some more of the Hmong cucumber. And I let the morning glory grow up just to give them something to hold on to at first, but I have to constantly cut back the morning glory so it doesn't take over. You see down below there's some butternut squash that I grew from our own seed, and going to let that take over here. That's probably the only thing I'm growing this fall in this area here. Some more Mizuna that took over, and here we go again. I have Goya and bitter melon, and not so much production this year as usual. You see a couple other Hmong cucumbers back there. Yeah, if you come on over here, this bed, maybe the last time I showed you, had potatoes in it, and we harvested those potatoes in May. And then what's funny is this one has come up, so there's still a potato in here. So random potato in August. Most of what you see now that's taken over in this bed is the Malabar, the climbing spinach that used to be just across over there. It's really taken over. And if you look back over there, that empty area that was Swiss chard and some other green leafy vegetables looking very nice the last time we met, just too hot for them. They play out this season, so usually leave that empty during the summer. So yeah, most of these greens back here are have played out. One thing I wanted to do was finally dig up this carrot. This carrot has been around for a long time, this purple carrot. And I'm going to finally pull it up today, hopefully. Yeah. So there you go. Looks like I cut off the bottom of it, got cut off there. But all right. We still have some chives here. You also see some of the beans, the Tai Long Beans along here. These have been growing really well because they've been getting full sun. And if you come over here, you'll see, here's some, for example. I actually have them growing across this lantana. Originally, I had this lantana planted over here just to attract butterflies and bees that could help pollinate. But the tomatoes now have played out. And if you look here, you'll see tomato worms have attacked the tomatoes. So I've kind of given up on the tomatoes now. They've gotten too attacked. And over here is more of the Kentucky Wonder beans, but not too much action right now. They're just a little too it's a little too hot. Here are our eggplants, and I actually have eggplants here in my pocket from today. It's like one variety, darker one, and then here's the Louisiana one. And they can become bigger, but these were ripe today, so I went ahead and picked them. If you come on around here, you'll see the shiso, the Japanese basil, has been doing really well. If you notice, in the shady area here that just gets a little sun during the day, just straight up noon sun, it's doing the best. And this was full sun down below, but you see that has already played itself out. We'll go ahead and come on over here. Yeah, again, we have an okra there. I decided not to put okra here this year. I found a better spot for okra that I'll show you in a minute. Rosemary's going strong. Yeah, if you look here, I used to have cabbage and some other green leafy vegetables in this bed for years. And finally discovered that this year okra was the best. It only gets the morning sun and the sun from the midday. And so still though, this is a full sun plant, but it gets a much better result here than over there. And as you see, this is a Japanese variety, gets pretty big. One thing I wanted to show you is a technique here. Yeah, for example, we have this okra. I learned how you can get more production. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. So I cut it, but then I also cut the leaf right next to it. And if you do that, you're going to get more production. I'll show you this example here. This is a better example of what we've been doing. You see some that have been cut along here, and then this one is ready today. This is about the maximum size. So I'm going to cut it, and then I'll cut this. So if you look at the top here, you'll see it gets a lot more production. Look at all the flowers and the smaller okra. And that's happened along here. The okra's been very, very nice. It loves this time of year in Houston. And that's really about it. Over there is just a bunch of, it just became all overgrown, and I sort of let it go. So that's it for this edition. And I just wanted to let you know, I'm not quite sure when we're going to have another edition, because this property is going to be sold in the fall, and I've stopped planting anything. It looks like the squash you saw earlier is the last thing I'm going to be planting. So we'll continue possibly, but it could be that I don't see you for quite a while until we have another area to make a garden. But until then, thank you for watching and tuning in. Tell your friends about this channel, and here's to happy gardening.